Back again to talk about sleep issues because my friend Yvonne came on and said she had a friend struggling with getting a good night's sleep. All right, so let's talk about this. I've done videos on this in the past, but I really have at least 5 tips for you on what could be the hidden cause of your sleep issue. Okay, are you ready? Are you ready? Well, women over 40, guess what? Yep. Hormonal issues could be the cause of our sleep issues and getting a good long night's sleep. Now, hormonal issues plus maybe some acidic things going on, but hormonal issues could be. And a lot of people use, a lot of women are prescribed or recommended to use a progesterone cream, what we call pregnenolone cream, which is kind of a precursor of all our hormones, because as our hormones go down, it's good to have maybe a little bit, getting a good night's sleep. And I will tell you, it's something that I have added to my regimen, and at 46, I am getting a good night's sleep, plus it has the added bonus of boosting your libido as well. So that's the first thing that could be the issue. Let me just get my light back on here. The second thing that could be an issue is acidity. Now, what do I mean by acidity? Let me tell you. Get this back on. Okay, so acidity means the body can be very alkaline, and when the body, or excuse me, acidic, and that means like the pH, acid in the system. And when there's a lot of acid, there's a lot of inflammation. Now, when you think of inflammation, you might think of aches and pains, stiffness, joint pain. It also can cause allergies, and it also can interrupt your sleep. Okay, so having a lot of acid in the system. So I like to alkalize the body. Of course, you can do that with dark fruits like blueberries, blackberries, eating a lot of green veggies every day. There's supplements you can take. My favorite is something called Alkaline. I take it every single night, and it really, really helps me. I actually take it when I was getting up in the middle of the night. I would take it, and it would help me get into a deep sleep again. So I found it was really amazing for that. Okay, next up, so we've talked about acidity, we've talked about hormones. Next up is the colon. Did you know a congesting colon can be very toxic to the body and just be like, kind of like a kid with ADHD in our system? And so people who are not regularly pooping, right? And it doesn't mean you're gassy all night. It doesn't mean any of that, but people who are not regularly pooping a lot of times can end up having some sleep disturbances. So making sure that you're having regular bowel movements, however you can do that. We have some great recommendations for you if you need some help with that. Okay, next up, so we talked about that. Next up is your blood sugar, especially again for women past their 40s, people who might be a little bit I don't want to say pre-diabetic, but insulin resistant. All of that is that your blood sugar, especially if you're a dessert eater, what happens is your blood sugar goes up and it goes down. In the middle of the night, you are hungry, right? You are hungry. So actually eating more protein or a protein snack at night, not having a piece of fruit, unless maybe it's like a green apple with a little almond butter, something like that, but not having the sweets at night or the sugar or the sodas or whatever like that is just going to help you get a much better night's sleep. Okay, now I got to tell you this one story. I love this story. I won't say the person's name, but we had this client. She came in, she was miserable, she was anxious, she just wasn't happy in her skin, right? And she was late 40s, early 50s. And so we recommended that she get on the Ninja Red juice, just a couple of ounces every day. And I actually recommended for her to take it at night, right? To take it at night, because she couldn't like calm her body and stuff. For some people, they can't take it at night because it gives them good energy. It doesn't have any caffeine or anything like that. But for this woman, she actually took it at night. She got such good sleep. She was a bank manager, and she was just so happy during the day, and she would take a little bit during the day too. And I believe that it just helped her body get the good nutrition she needed. It helped to balance things out in her blood sugar. She just did so well. In fact, the employees at the bank would say it's her happy juice. We can tell when she's not on it. They called it her happy juice. So blood sugar regulation can be a cause of your sleep issues. Okay. And the last one I will share with you is just something that I think a lot of us go through in different times of our life. Maybe we have a spouse who's overseas, he's in the armed services. We might have a loved one who we're worried about, who's on our mind. We might have a sick child or an estranged relationship. All of those things, they kind of like go on in our brain, like right all night long. So a couple tips that a lot of us use that is very, very good is we use pure premium essential oils, Young Living essential oils. And I have probably 4 or 5 favorites, but for me, each person's different, but for me, a phenomenal essential oil that helps me get a good night's sleep is called Peace and Calming. Not only does it lower my stress, but I feel when I just take some nice deep breaths and I just spend a minute or two at night, I put it on the bottoms of my feet. I rub it in my hands. I take some nice deep breaths, right? I might rub it through my hair, on my shoulders. I just find I get a really good night's sleep. Another great oil of Young Living's that's even been researched by like Wake Forest University and stuff for its benefits on a good night's sleep is our lavender essential oil. And not all lavender is the same. In fact, Young Living's lavender, I found compared to any other lavender, is just, it's just so relaxing. It's so good. So it's another one that can help you get a good night's sleep. Another favorite that a lot of people like is frankincense. Frankincense just is very grounding to the body, very just peaceful, tranquil. A lot of people will meditate with it or pray with it. So it's really, really good. Another favorite essential oil, and this is a blend, called a Valor, and Valor on the feet. In fact, one of my kids, that's their oil. That's their oil that just grounds them at the end of the day or the beginning of the day, helps them to focus, helps them get a good night's sleep. And then for those who really, really struggle with having a good night's sleep, I'm going to recommend an oil called Ruta Vala. Now, Young Living doesn't always have it in stock, so definitely connect with myself or another wellness associate to see if they have some in their stock. But Ruta Vala, it's a combination of 3 amazing essential oils that which are very hard to get in the world. But this combination of 3, I have seen client after client after client who really struggle be able to get an amazing night's sleep. Now, it has a bit of a strong odor. For some people, they don't like it. I'm one of them. But man, when I need to get a good night's sleep, when my husband was in the hospital, when I have had very stressful things, I use that Ruta Vala and get a good night sleep. Again, using it on the bottoms of your feet. You can take some inhales of it, but it's just a phenomenal oil. So that's my favorite. I'm sure I have some great wellness associates on here who could share with you as well some essential oils that are great for a good night's sleep. But those are my tips. So let me see if I can remember them all. So we had essential oils that we talked about. We talked about blood sugar regulation. We talked about how a toxic colon could actually be the issue with your sleep. We talked about hormones and one other thing, acidity. That's right, acidity. All of those things could be causing you to not be getting a good night's sleep. So your step is to start with one thing. What one thing on my list, if you don't get a good night's sleep, what one thing on my list are you going to do? Put it in the comments. Let me know. One thing. Are you going to get an essential oil? I'd love to serve you with that. If you don't have a wellness advocate, Young Living advocate, I can help you get some of those essential oils. Maybe you are going to look into eating more green veggies because you know it's going to help you not be constipated. It's going to help alkaline your body. We didn't talk about water, but water's a great thing too. A lot of people complain, well, I'm always getting up to go to the bathroom all night. Well, we will talk about that when we talk about bladder health another time. But making sure you have enough water during the day or the early part of day is very important as well too. All right, so let me know what you are going to do to get a good night's sleep. Pick one thing, just one thing, and let me know what you're going to do. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.